Hi everyone, so today what I'm going to show you is how to do the image reflection project, and as you can see here, basically what you're going to need to do is take an image and reflect it 3 different times. Each time it's going to change and be a mirror image of the other image. So here's one example, and then I did want to show you a more advanced image reflection where you go in and make multiple copies of it, which I'll show in a couple minutes. So what you're going to want to do is find an image that you want to work with and start by cropping the photograph so that it's a 4x4 in size. So I already drew my crop box on top of my image, and I'm going to just shrink it down a little bit. Oops, my cropper got away from me here. Let me pull that back out. Okay. I'm working with a slightly different version of Adobe Photoshop. However, most of the steps are going to be relatively the same. If you notice, my cropping tool is just a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. Alright, and the next thing I'm going to do is make my canvas size big enough so that it can hold my 4x4 and then duplicate its width and then its height. So I'm going to take my anchor and I'm going to move it so that it's in a corner that I want to start with my reflection. So I want my arm here to be the center part, and then this over here will be more of my reflection. So I'm going to push my anchor off into the upper corner, and I'm going to duplicate my width as well as my height. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. You fit on screen so I can see what I'm doing. Next step, just like you used in the past, you're going to use your rectangular marquee tool. And you're going to go ahead and draw a box on top of that. Now my box is slightly smaller, so I'm going to move that up here. Okay. Now I'm going to go Edit, Copy, and Edit, Paste. Use my Move tool and slide that over. Alright. I'm going to go Edit, Paste, and paste a couple more copies of this down here. And Edit, Paste, move this copy here. Okay. Now, I'm on this layer. I want to start with this one, and in order to create the reflection, what I want to do is flip this layer so that it's horizontally reflected. So I'm going to click on my layer 1, that's that image up here of my daughter that I want to start with, and to flip only the layer, you're going to go up to Edit, Transform, and you're going to go down to Flip, and I want to change it so she's horizontal. And now I'm going to use my Move tool actually, or my little arrow keys to actually match those up. Now looking closely at this image, if I were to zoom in, it looks like I got a little bit of a white gash in between the 2 images. So I'm going to take a little closer look and see if I can't remove that. So it is definitely a white gash and it's on my picture. So how do I get rid of this? Okay, I'm going to unclick on all of the eyes on all of my other layers. This will allow me to see that little white gash a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a touch more just so you guys can really start to see that white line that's causing me a little bit of a problem. So if I want to remove something on a layer, you guys should already know using your erase tool is one way to go about it. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all find my eraser tool. There we go. And if I start by clicking on the top corner of this image, alright, and scroll all the way down to the bottom, okay, I'm going to hold down my Shift key before I click this next time. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the Shift and click, and it immediately erases that area. Just make sure that whatever brush you're working with is actually a sharp brush and not your soft brush like we were using for the past. So now I'll bring back the pictures of my other layers by clicking on my eyeballs. Alright, and if I use my Move tool going back again, you can see that it easily lines up with no white gash in between. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here. Now I can kind of take a better look at my image. Alright, and now I'm going to go down to my layer number 2, which is this bottom corner, and this one I want to flip so that it's going in an opposite direction. So I'm going to go Edit, Transform, and I'm going to flip this. Whoop, it's showing up on the other side so that it goes vertically. Alright, and again I'm going to use my Move tool and just carefully move that up. And then my last image, which is my image number 3, this one I'm actually going to wind up having to flip twice. So I'm going to go Transform, and I'm going to flip it not only horizontally, but I'm also going to flip it so that it's flipped vertically. So where are we here? Edit, Transform. I'm going to flip it vertical. So I had to flip that one twice. And again with this one I got that little bit of a white gash in between. So going back I could go in, okay, zoom in on the image. Alright, and this time I'm going to avoid taking out my eyes. I'm going to go in with a nice sharp brush. I'm going to click right up here on the top of that image, scroll down, go all the way to my bottom. Okay, now I can use my Move tool, Just gradually move that right in. Okay, and no more white lines. So now that's pretty much how you do this particular assignment. All right, the last thing would be use your rectangular marquee, trim up any edges so that you don't have any going around your border. And I do want you guys to create a border around this, so I'm going to go edit, image, crop. I'm going to go to my image and go to canvas size. Okay, and I'm going to make this a whole inch bigger, so I'm going to go 8. And then this one down here, I'm also going to make it 8. And I like the black border, so I'm going to go with black and click OK. Alright, now to do this next step where you're making the image look more like this, alright, I will create a second video for it. It's optional, you guys don't have to do it, but I do encourage you guys to challenge yourselves. So essentially for this, all you need to do is print it out, paste it in your sketchbook, and label it Image Reflections. Thank you.